Hello guys, Michelle came back once again. You saw the title of the video. Pretty much a Berserk catch-up video. I don't know what I'm going to title it, but I really want to tackle the recent things that's been going on with Guts, because there's been a lot of big contention and conversation over it, on what is Guts, what is his purpose, where is this, and that. And ultimately, Guts is an anomaly. He serves no purpose. There is no goal for him. There is nothing of nothing. Unlike everybody else, like I suspected, who's affected by somebody's causality or dream or life expectation or goal. Everybody else is affected and pushed around in an endless ocean of ambition and dreams. Guts walks a path alone, completely unaffected by it. Completely. And how causality swallows up and kills and destroys everybody else, for Guts, it gives him trials, obstacles, tribulations, hatred, rage, regret, pain, and trauma. But he survives. Like, there's multiple times in the early series, especially Golden Age arcs, where Guts should have died. He should never survive the birth of his mother. He should never survive what Duval did to him, or what Gambino did, and all his troops chasing after him. He should never desire getting attacked by the wolves, but he did for the next 7 years. You do realize, when Griffith meets Guts, he's only 15 years old. He's a kid. He's a child. When the eclipse happens, Guts is only 19. Like, even in the current series, before the passing of Kitaru, Guts is only 24 years old. He don't look like it, but he's not that old. So when you live a life of constant trials and tribulations, when you live a life where everything is seemingly against you, it's not surprising that technically Guts is dead. He's halfway not even alive. So when they say that he's half alive, he's half not, he's of the world but not of the world, that comes to unique conditions of his birth. I'm pretty sure his mother died and then he was born like a day afterwards. There's no evidence of this. When you look at it that perspective, it'll make sense why then he'll have a tie to the astral plane. Because his mother was just, well, he just came up, she died afterwards, that would just be whatever. But if his mother died like a few days before his birth and then he was still born, that would make sense of why he'll have this tie to the astral plane. And just like Griffiths is half and half. What do you mean he's half and half? Griffiths is not a normal Godhead member. Because most Godhead members don't believe they need a physical form or actual body to cause an effect across the planet. But Griffiths does. He was reincarnated. He does have a body. Not sure that does involve being half of Guts and Casca's child. But if the demon child wasn't there, he would still be half and half. So that's what it is saying. They're not the same as an ambition. This is not a magical chosen one story. But we have a person, Griffiths, who's been destined to do something, and Guts, who's never been destined to do anything. He just exists. That's it. And that's what I've always seen the stories about. Griffiths, a man who has everything, compared to Guts, a man who has nothing. Everything good in his life comes and goes. And in my opinion, Guts always has to bear the burden of every decision he makes. And he cries, and he weeps, and he has all this self-hatred and distraught among himself, and Griffiths does not have any of those things. He never has. So when people want to bring up that whole, well, what he did for the Band of Hawk, he only sold his body because he didn't feel anything for his men. He figured that was the least he could do. Fermento didn't change Griffith. It just made him more what he is. We've seen this with several apostles. The Bellarmint does not change you. It just makes you more what you are. It's like money. The only reason why most people are humble is because they're poor. And they've been broken down and weathered through life. But as soon as they hit the lottery or make a breakthrough to the industry, they become a jackass. Because that's who they always wanted to be. So when people talk about being humble, is it money the problem? Or it's the fact that life has limited their abilities and the reach of people wanting to get to? Meaning, if they've always had money, they'll always end up like this. But of course, there's always a scapegoat, there's always money, there's always politics, there's always some circumstances of blaming something on somebody instead of accepting the truth, fixing who you are, and acknowledging the flaws and the shortcomings. And that was pretty much these recent chapters have been about for Guts. And that is accepting who he is, what he is, and to be able to move on and decide to where his life's going to go from now. Because like before, he's been wandering. He's been chasing after Griffith, trying to kill him. He's been trying to get Casca fixed. He's been going from place to place to place to help out. He's just kind of been on autopilot for quite some time now, especially ever since Casca came back into the story. He's had no initiative to do anything for himself. It's just what he can do for other people. But I believe this whole point of the chapter, in the recent chapters, and what Griffith talked about, how, you also notice too, that Guts has to decide to live his own life the way he wants to, the way he chooses to. It can't be for nobody else. Guts has helped out and broke his back for enough people. It's about time for him to decide for himself. And that's why I brought up, I'm going to have to post up a short about, after all this time, will Griffith finally accept Guts as a friend? Because none of this would have happened if he would have shut his fat mouth. None of it. So after everything he's gained, everything he's obtained, all the history, this and that, and the allies and the friendship, is it enough now, Griffith? Huh? Is it? Is it good enough now? So that was the whole recent 2 chapters has been about. Because I never understood why Guts just broke down when Casca was taken again. Whoopee. It's not the first, not the last time. It's just she gonna be all right. I don't see why people want to keep pushing that Guts and Casca relationship. She made her choice. She wanted Griffith, even after everything that happened. All the experience, all the bonding, all the connection, the care, compassion. What did Guts get? Well, I think you should just go away. After everything, you're still obsessed with a man who never gave a damn about you. After everything. If Guts would have cleaved Casca in half, do you think that Griffith would have still offered Guts that deal? Don't you think it's strange that Griffiths barely have any interactions with Rickard, Pippin, Corcus, Judo, any one of them? Y'all don't think that's weird or strange? It is what it is. But on to the later part of the chapter. We catch up with the most recent chapter. We catch up with Falconia. What's her name? Shirake is actually projecting to Falconia and looking at the place once again. I loosely know what's going on. We get to catch up with Sonya and crew. And Griffiths is once again finding that his little paradise inside the world, separated from all the monsters, is not so perfect in the day. And not everybody's just gonna roll over and accept this holier than thou supposing figure. They want their own life, their own ambitions. And that's what I mean, that most people don't understand the bonfire of dreams. Why do you think Guts and Casca wasn't there? That wasn't a coincidence. All those flames, all those campfires, was symbolic of all the ambitions and dreams that Griffiths absorbed for himself and destroyed. This is why he can't respect somebody who don't have their own initiatives, because it comes too easy for him. It's whatever. He has that effect on everybody. But Casca wasn't there. And Guts wasn't there. And that whole speech was symbolic of this whole good old classic trio here. But, I yet to see a video about that. Because every ambition... That's why I gotta release them shorts. Because the Corcus and everything else... I don't hate Corcus as a character. He's the most cold-blooded realist throughout the entire series. He says and does what he says because of what happens to him. And ultimately, he was trying to protect Guts from himself. Because he wasn't wrong. As soon as Guts left, everything went to garbage. So, back to the main point. The Griffiths, like, give him time, give him a place, they'll come around. AKA, they're gonna come around one way or another. If it just so happened that, a few monsters attacked their village, well, it's not my fault. Hey, they said they want to live by themselves. And then we get this interaction with the God Hand and Griffiths, where the God Hand are looking down on Griffiths and what he's doing, and seeing it as less than, seeing it as beneath somebody of their position to try to play this godlike role. You can influence, you can change. Like, you are a being above them. You don't have to live among them, eat with them, or even hang around them. You're above them. You're above Zod. You're above everybody else. They will bend to your command and announcements by default. Why would you lower yourself to play pretend and dress up when this is not who you are? The problem is, Vord assumes that everybody that joins the God Hand wants to be like him. Slain, Conrad, the dude with the glasses, they all share some similar characteristics with Void and his influence and how he want to affect the world. The whole big orgy wasn't a mistake. The trolls and meeting Slain, that wasn't a mistake. The plague from Conrad, that's not a mistake. These are the things they do and play around with. Just like I believed on somebody that 100+ year war was feeding off that war. But they influence and they poke and they pry and they irritate and push people in doing their self-destructive things to feed and fuel their own existence. So to see Griffiths lower himself to people that are beneath him and subpar and do things that he don't need to do, it will make sense why they'll say he's playing dress up. He's playing pretend. You're playing wannabe. You're doing all this stuff for what when it's not even necessary? What, to put on the front? You like to be watched? Have the glory? They're already broke their back and been over for you. They've been heretics since back doing this, like the Slug Baron's backstory. Like, why are you doing this for? And they don't understand that Griffiths is going to be who he is. No matter what happens to him, no matter what changes, he's going to be the same man he was when that fortune teller told him his fortune back then. He hasn't changed. Just like how Guts hasn't changed. The parallels are very true with Kentaro and Koji, the creators, and they flip-flop back and forth which one is which. And there's a lot of things that a lot of people are just not going to understand because they don't have that. They won't be able to experience it themselves. So they don't understand. They can only sympathize. They can't empathize or they can't understand. And even after all these years, after all this point, Griffith's just indifference towards Guts. It's kind of indifferent to us. So that's why I bring up after all this time, where he finally considered Guts to be his friend. But out of my overall thoughts and opinions about the recent goings on in Berserk, it really kind of been focused around this whole Guts journey, and him accepting his position in life, and what he means, and what he wants to do into the future. Because without that, he hasn't really had any purpose or real guidance. It was always serve somebody else or do something to help somebody else. It hasn't been doing it for Guts. It was always for somebody else's benefit until now. So we get to see what Guts does after this. Be interesting. Yeah. There's like a lot of parallels, a lot of symbolism. For those supposed lyrical experts, the themes don't fucking matter, damn it. But I don't know, you just gotta sit back and watch and pay attention. And watch how they react to those small interactions. So on and so on. Because ultimately this story starts with Guts and Griffiths and it ends with Guts and Griffiths. Casca's just some unfortunate girl that got caught up in something that she never should have been a part of in the first place. I mentioned this one last time. She chose Griffith. They had a chance to run away with each other and live the good life, so on and so on. I can't leave him, he's so weak. And I leave you off with this question. When there was I guess you could say carrots, whatever you want to call it, it's like Griffiths jumped on top of her. And we have this moment between the two. And I have a question for you. Why did Griffiths do that? Now, a lot of people like to pass off that scene like it's nothing. No. If people would have paid attention, what Griffiths did there to Casca was a prelude of what he was going to do towards the eclipse. Why? Because the Guts got with Casca. Anybody who read the manga, every interaction those two, Guts and Casca, had with each other, Griffith was watching the whole time. And that's why I bring up, you didn't care for this woman. But what about during the eclipse? He didn't care for her. You think he actually went back for Casca, or did he go back for Guts? Truly think about it. Doing the 100-man Slayer, did he go back for Casca, or did he go back for Guts? If Casca would never fell down there, who would have went back for? Like I said before, one last time, don't you think it's strange that Griffith barely have any scenes with the Bands of the Hawk? But if you can't like, comment, subscribe, and peace.